The Philadelphia Eagles, because of Saquon Barkley, get past the New Orleans football team 15-12, the final. A quick reality check for the boys from the Bayou who were feeling pretty good about themselves. Now, the money quote came from the Philadelphia side of things here. If you did not hear about this, perhaps not. The quote came from C.J. Gardner-Johnson. C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Now, this is a defensive back who was in Philadelphia, went to Detroit, came back to Philadelphia here. So C.J. Gardner-Johnson did not hold back. Did not hold back when he was overheard in the joyous Eagle locker room celebrating Philadelphia's win. And he said that the Saints and quarterback Derek Carr, well, he had a lot to say. He said, quote, "They ain't no contenders. They're pretenders. They have Derek Carr. Remember that." Close quote. All right, so let us discuss C.J. Gardner-Johnson saying that the Saints are pretenders, not contenders, because of Derek Carr. Is that a fair ball or a foul ball? So, fair ball! That is a fair ball. I've got glass slipper, workshop, and canned ham. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to walk down the red carpet is what we're going to do. So, first of all, it's absolutely fair. And I wish I could do the TV show over again because I have spent much of my life criticizing Derek Carr, and I got suckered in. I got suckered into Derek Carr because I thought, well, there's something right now going on there, and it can last a few more weeks. I didn't think it was going to end this weekend. I didn't. I thought that they would take care of Philadelphia. But man alive, C.J. Gardner-Johnson is not wrong. He's also the ringmaster of a circus of hot air. God love him. We need more guys like that. He's a Rhodes Scholar when it comes to this kind of rhetoric. Very good at stirring the pot there. But when you peel back the onion, he's actually not wrong. People are upset because he said this. I've seen some criticism. It's not right. But he's not wrong. And if you look at Derek Carr, and I know from my experience as someone that futzes around with the gambling world, just betting against Derek Carr against a halfway decent opponent, you're in pretty good shape, right? You're in pretty good shape. And you look at Carr here this week, disheveled. He was absolutely disheveled here. How bad was he? Carr finished with a paltry 142 yards passing, a touchdown and an interception, a passer rating below 70. And it's fair to say that the glass slipper has cracked and turned back into a crappy shoe right there at midday. Not nighttime, at midday, not midnight. Right there. The whatever spark plug Carr had vanished against a Philadelphia defense that had been absolutely manhandled by the Falcons. They couldn't get any pressure on Atlanta, but they got plenty of pressure, the Eagles did, on the New Orleans football team. Now, secondly, to Tennessee we go. Now, following another blowout loss, the Tennessee Titans blown off the field by the Green Bay Packers backup quarterback and friends. Tennessee coach Brian Callahan, he confirmed that the embattled quarterback, Will Levis, will remain the starter, and he said the team just needs to improve around Will Levis. Now, Will Levis was a hot mess in the game on Sunday, threw a pick six and had the usual turnover bugaboo. So the question, Brian Callahan, he says that Will Levis will remain the Titans starting quarterback. That is always subject to change. You might remember a week ago, it was the head coach in Carolina that said that he was going to continue on starting his guy and Bryce Young, and then they benched him, which turned out to be the right move. More on that later. So Brian Callahan says, hey, he'll remain with Will Levis as his quarterback. But why is he saying that? Well, the first thought I have is they have no contingency plan. The other thought I have is that Callahan was hired in large part to get something out of nothing from Will Levis, right? That this was, he's an offensive guy from his days with Cincinnati, and he's supposed to help fix Will Levis. There's also no contingency plan. You've got Mason Rudolph, the red-nosed quarterback, who is a jag, just a guy, and he's the backup quarterback right now. And so this season is all about Will the Thrill, and he is a thrill. He's a one-man band, gives off Jameis Winston vibes from his days in Tampa Bay. Will Levis, what he's been doing here has been running a pop-up Santa's workshop. It's like a pop-up Santa's workshop because he's giving gifts. You get a gift, you get a gift, you get a gift. In 3 games, 4 interceptions, at least 2 or 3 passes that should have, could have, would have been intercepted that weren't, and 3 rumble fumbles. So that's 7 interceptions in 3 games. And you mix in faulty body clock, holding the ball too long. He got sacked 8 times. This is, again, a point of demarcation. The dumb fan, the low-information fan says it's all on the quarterback, when in reality many sacks are a byproduct of incompetence. Most sacks are because of the quarterback. The stat is for the quarterback. The sack stat is for the quarterback. It's a quarterback statistic. But this keeps up, and you got to think that at some point Will Levis will not be out there sooner than later, right? That he's hanging on by a thread. He's not long for the starting job. All right, now, final thought. We stay with that game, but I want to go to the other side, where Green Bay is now 2-0, sans their forever quarterback Jordan Love, and they've won those 2 games with Malik Willis. What up, Willis? What you talking about, Willis? Malik Willis is the starting quarterback. Now, he was asked about his return to Nashville, playing the Titans, his old team, and he attempted to downplay it even after the game was over. Now, before the game, you say, okay, you're supposed to downplay it. But even after the game, during the week, it's one thing. But after the game, he set career highs in passing yards and rushing yards. Haven't played that much. But Willis didn't take a bow, instead saying he thinks all wins count the same. Boring! Boring! All right, anyway, that's the quote here we're going to base this rest of the monologue on. So, question for the esteemed panel here. Packers quarterback Malik Willis. Malik Willis downplaying the win over the Titans, saying he didn't have any more significance than any other win. How did that one strike you? So, it struck me like a canned ham response, prepackaged, right? That's what it struck me as. Because Willis, he's following the verbiage on sportscliche.com is what he's doing. And, of course, it was sweeter. The nectar was a little sweeter, right? And low-hanging fruit is the most delicious fruit. Because you look at the Titans, Malik Willis, kind of obvious here, Malik Willis was supposed to be the guy. He was drafted originally when they had Ryan Tannehill, and he was going to be groomed to be the quarterback. They did try to groom him, and then they had to play him, and the guy couldn't play. And he wasn't ready, and Will Levis was the guy they drafted after already having Malik Willis in the pipeline. They went out and drafted Will Levis in addition to having Malik Willis. So after a horrid opening act in Tennessee, whatever they're doing in Green Bay, maybe they're just doing a better job of masking the shortcomings of Malik Willis. Whatever it is, it's working. And it's such a juxtaposition from what he had been and how bad he was. Remember, there was a primetime game. I want to say it was the Titans and the Chiefs. And Malik Willis played that game, and it looked like he had never picked up a football before. And he was playing quarterback for the Tennessee Titans. And now it's like he's not amazing, and they're still running a run-heavy offense, and they got some help from Will Levis, and those things have all kind of lined up there. And it's not like he's going out as a traditional quarterback and throwing the ball a gazillion times and trying to win that way. But the recipe is a successful recipe. Packers only had 16 first downs in that game, but they did have 378 yards of offense. Now, 188 of those were on the ground, but that's fine. Will Levis sucked, and Malik Willis didn't. He only attempted 19 passes, but that was enough.